Hello everybody. Today is August 29th, 2021, and this morning Hurricane Ida made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane with 150 mile per hour sustained winds and 185 mile per hour wind gusts. So I'll be doing some coverage of the hurricane for about the next 10 to 15 minutes for you guys. And before we just start off, we're looking at current radar as of 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And Hurricane Ida is southwest of New Orleans, probably by about 40 miles. And New Orleans is just getting slammed with rain bands. And so rain, you have it looks like two eye walls here. You have an inner eye wall right here, and you have an outer eye wall. In fact, it looks like now an eye wall replacement cycle may actually be happening, because over the last 2 hours it's just been consistently of an outer and an inner eye wall. So you've had this larger outer eye wall, and you've had this smaller inner eye wall. As I'll loop the radar for you guys. And notice the two eye walls, the big outer eye wall and the small inner eye wall. And we're starting at 1 o'clock p.m. And over the next few hours, you can see you have an inner eye wall, and then you have that big outer eye wall. And until the last about 30 minutes, looks like both eye walls maintained their strength, but now it looks like the inner eye wall is starting to weaken a little bit, and the outer eye wall is starting to look more dominant, which historically has weakened hurricanes, but in this case it's already over land, so it's going to weaken regardless. But now you just have the eye wall of an intense wind and rain that much closer to New Orleans than if the eye wall would not have replaced itself. So New Orleans, you are in a very bad spot right now. You're getting slammed with extremely heavy rain, extremely strong winds, and there is still, I want you to notice, there's still lightning in this eye wall. So that means that the eye wall is not really, the hurricane is still maintaining its strength. Historically, when there's lightning in the eye wall, it either means the hurricane is maintaining its strength or more, so it means the hurricane is rapidly intensifying. Obviously, that's not happening because Ida is already on land, but it's not a good sign to still be seeing lightning in the eye wall, especially once it's over land, because that means that it's maintaining its strength at least. So we are having some very dire weather conditions, very extreme weather conditions for New Orleans right now. I want you to show you guys a very unique warning that has been issued by the National Weather Service. And unfortunately, it just the area is covered in like 10 warnings, from hurricane warnings, storm surge warnings, and this unique warning I'm about to show you, the extreme wind warning, which goes from 4:23 p.m. Central Daylight Time to 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And the extreme wind warning is unique to strong hurricanes, Category 3, 4, 5 hurricanes. And what it says is there's widespread destructive winds of 115 to 125 miles per hour will spread across St. John the Baptist Parish, St. James Parish, St. Charles Parish, Terrebonne Parish, Lafourche Parish, Jefferson Parish, and it even says here it's going to produce swaths of tornado-like damage. So so basically what the eye wall of a hurricane is, it's a 15 to 20 mile wide tornado, because the winds are especially in this one, winds, as I'll show you, as of 4 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time, the winds are still at 130 miles per hour, gusting to 160 miles per hour. And this is the equivalent of a strong EF2 to a weak EF3 tornado, except this is a 20-mile wide EF2, EF3 tornado. So the problem is those kind of winds will destroy most structures, especially for a prolonged period of time. And you can even see in the warning, it lasts for 2 hours. So basically, you guys are dealing with a 2-hour-long tornado if you are in those parishes that I just mentioned. And unfortunately, what's the worst part is this warning includes western half of New Orleans. So if you are in New Orleans, you gotta get into a very sturdy building if you're not already in one. You get a very sturdy building away from windows in an interior room, just like a tornado. You should take tornado precautions if you're in western New Orleans, because basically that's what's coming your way is a tornado, a 20-mile wide tornado. In addition to that, there is a flash flood warning in effect for New Orleans, all the way to 10 o'clock p.m. this evening, but it's likely going to get extended. 1 to 3 inches of rain have fallen. Additional amounts of 4 to 8 inches are possible. So, in addition to tornadic winds, you're going to be seeing. So the warning only says 4 to 8 inches more rain, but I think you guys are going to get at least a foot of rain, 12 plus inches. So you guys are going to have a lot. You're going to have flooding in addition to tornadic winds and storm surge off Lake Pontchartrain. So if you are in New Orleans, first of all, you should have evacuated. But if you have stayed behind New Orleans, find the most sturdy building you can and get inside and ride the storm out. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can say right now. We're looking at a catastrophic situation for the city of New Orleans, because we are experiencing flash flood warnings, but the most dangerously, we're experiencing an extreme wind warning, which is basically tornadic winds due to the eye wall of the hurricane. New Orleans is in the extreme wind warning, and that is something you rarely ever see, even with hurricanes. There's also a tornado threat across anywhere from northeastern part of the boot of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and far western Florida. There's a tornado threat, and anywhere in this yellow, you guys are under a tornado watch until 7 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time this evening. And it's very common on the right side of hurricanes. You get spin-up tornadoes from these individual cells that you see here in the bands. Like for instance, this cell, these cells, and these cells. You kind of see what looks like hooks on them. Hooks. So these are mini supercells, and they act a lot like traditional supercells, where you have rotation in these storms, and they spin up tornadoes at any time. So even though there's no tornado warnings, any of these storms could produce a tornado at any time. And you have a big cluster of what looks like hooks moving toward Gulfport, Mississippi, and Biloxi, Gulfport and Biloxi. So if you guys are in Gulfport and Biloxi, Mississippi, you guys should be monitoring your local weather stations closely, or your radars, because you could be seeing some tornadoes soon. In addition to that, you guys are likely seeing a very big storm surge, and there are also flash flood warnings for Mobile, Alabama, and Pensacola, Florida, extending northwest of Pensacola, Florida. So it's a very dangerous situation across southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and before I end the video, I'm going to be showing you where a storm's going to be doing in the future. So by 7 o'clock this evening, or 1 o'clock overnight, we'll have a 75 mile per hour hurricane moving north of I-10, northeast of Baton Rouge. Still gusts of 105 miles per hour. And by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be near Vicksburg, Mississippi, with winds of 40 miles per hour, gusting to 60 miles per hour. And eventually it's going to move into northeastern Mississippi, weaken to a depression of 30 miles per hour 1 a.m. tomorrow evening. And after that, it's going to move across the Tennessee Valley and to the northeast, going across the same areas as Hurricane Henri and Tropical Storm Fred went. So there's probably going to be more flooding issues. In fact, there's going to be flooding issues all the way from southeastern Louisiana through Tennessee, Kentucky. All in this cone, there's going to be flooding issues. Because most of these areas in the cone are expecting 4 to even 10 inches of rain from Hurricane Ida. And this is a catastrophic storm. This is, by no doubt in my mind, Ida is going to be retired, but this is a storm that people will be talking about 50, 60, 70 years down the road, because it is, I hate to say it, guys, it's very, very Katrina-like with its impacts and its location. And the most ironic part is, today, August 29th, is the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Ida is hitting New Orleans on the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, the 16th anniversary. Just very, very, very crazy weather going on. And just going to show you the spaghetti models real quick, and they are all in agreement now that it's going to be moving across Mississippi, central Tennessee, southeastern Kentucky, central West Virginia, northern Maryland, and off to southern New England. Yeah, just, guys, if you have power still, keep your eyes glued to your local TV stations, because they'll be going to be providing valuable information. And if you have a weather radio, you should be listening to that. But yeah, just a very bad situation. A very large area of heavy rain across southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama right now. And the hurricane is slowing down too. It's now only moving at 10 miles per hour. So storm surge, destructive wind, and flooding are going to be very, very, very large threats across southeastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama. But even as the storm weakens, it's going to be a big, massive flood threat all the way through the Tennessee Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and even New England. So, you guys stay safe, and you guys have a wonderful afternoon.